Hello and welcome. Today we've got Nick Alvia, we've got E. Smitty, and we've got Joe Rosati. And we are going to be discussing a Patriots song and video that we've produced to teach the world of the problems and crisis and educate people. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to our Telegram channels and to nicholasfeniarmin.com for my free email updates. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, I will leave the link below in the description for the full interview. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. How are you and what have you been up to? Nick Alvia, we'll go with you first.
Yo, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me here today. I've been just cranking out a lot of stuff. Goodline.tv has The Gates going on right now from the beginning series, but that starts with Fauci 1 and 2. That's been kind of my main focus right now. I'm going to wrap that up with Gates 4. But I just went on Charlie Ward and Mel K's show, and I'm going on Nina Rodriguez soon. So it's been really great to get all these films out there. And now there's a music video we did that we're going to talk about.
Well, absolutely. And Joe Rosati, how are you, sir?
I'm fantastic, Nicholas. Thanks for having me. It's been since January that the last time I was on, and a lot of changes, obviously, and just very happy to be here and be part of this and meet these incredible men. So.
Absolutely. And E. Smitty, how are you and what have you been up to?
It's been a journey. I'll tell you that, man. I want to talk about a little bit afterwards what I've actually been through because I believe I was hit with either strong COVID or pneumonia. But either way, I was I pretty much almost lost my life, and I'm just grateful and thankful to be here. And grateful that I'm able to recover. I want to talk to people today and just let them know maybe about a few home methods, remedies they can use if they get hit with this biological weapon. Because, I talked to Joe about it briefly before we even got on the show. And I just let them know where I've been. I've been, just recovering really just from a really strong sickness,
Wow. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you're much better. And you're absolutely right. It's exactly what it is, a bioweapon. Okay. So it's not a flu. All of this is a bioweapon. Now, guys, I'm so excited to hear that you all three of you've got together. Joe Rosati, you're the singer. And Nick Alvia, you're a video, you're a filmmaker, of course, and E. Smitty, was you behind on the musical production in this song?
No, I just assisted with Sound Alive Records. We distributed the record, and I did a little bit of A&R work, in the background, just to help things kind of jumpstart a little bit, get it on a couple of independent playlists, and just put the record out through my distribution portal through Sound Alive Records, and it's actually doing numbers and doing pretty well. And, I like the record. I met Joe off of the show, and we kind of just clicked. Felt like I met a brother, long lost brother that I've never actually met in person. So, I love Joe. I love his energy. I told him he reminds me of my best friend, Mike Kiviat, who is one of our Northeast A&Rs here at Sound Alive Records. And we've been best friends for 34 years. So I've known him since I was 6. September 11th, I had a birthday. I turned 40.
Nice, man.
Happy birthday.
So
Happy birthday.
I'm a guy now.
So, Joe,
man, Joe has been awesome. The track is awesome. It's got a great message, a great vibe. And, I felt like it would do something, special. And I felt like Patriots out here could support Joe, Joe Rosati, get on Spotify and definitely stream the record. It's called Freedom Now. It's an amazing song. It's got a good feel from the late 80s to the kind of early 90s pop feel, pop vibe, but big record. And, it's right up my alley. I love music like that.
Absolutely. And Joe Rosati, what made you inspire you to write this song and what is it about? Because I also want to let the viewers know that I will be playing the song at the end of this interview so you can all have a listen and have a look. It's a very good video. I've seen it. It's fantastic. So can you tell us, Joe, what inspired you to write it? What is it about? And who came up with the idea of the video?
Good questions. Well, it goes back to literally watching you, you started interviewing Charlie Ward, and you got your own show, and you had a couple thousand viewers. And I was just like, wow, I really like what Nicholas is doing. And so I wanted to contribute somehow. And I've been a little reluctant sharing my face because, you know, it's in the Northwest part of the US. It's not the most popular viewpoint, but this is about the truth, not about a side of politics. So I watched you grow, and I wanted to contribute. So I reached out to you to see if you wanted to have Gene Decode on the show. And you actually said, sure. So I reached out to Gene, and it was a little bit back and forth. And I said, Gene, you know, you got to be on the show because Nicholas is such a wonderful interviewer that I think that it's going to be good for both you and Nicholas. And so that started, and I sat back and I watched you guys. And then I heard people like Michael Jaco and David Nino say things like, you know, there's a lot of women in the fight. We need more men. And I was like, what can I do? And so, you know, I was driving down the road and I'd see people with masks on their face in their car by themselves. And I started getting some ideas, and I thought, I don't really want to go in the studio for that, because that's something that may not be as much of a powerful message down the road. So I just started getting some ideas about freedom and wanting it now, because you know, we need this sooner rather than later. And the more people that are aware of what's really going on in the world, we're going to raise the energy and raise the frequency and the mindfulness to make the change that we want to see in the world. So I had the idea. I started writing it acoustically. I had most of the lyrics, and then I went camping with my buddy Scott Stone, who actually helped concept the idea for the video. And I was in my hammock looking at the river, and I finished it. I looked over at him. I said, dude, I finished the lyrics. And I took it to my friend Steve, my producer, Steve Collins. He's in Tacoma, Washington. And he loved it, resonated with it. And so you got to understand, it's a tough time. People ask me, oh, do you have a band? It's hard enough just to put out music right now by myself. And so Steve is a wizard with production values, and we took it there. And I got a friend named Trissa that I grew up with, and she sang backup. And then my friend Adrienne Thompson, she's a total patriot. I had her sing, and she added some soul and depth to it. And I wanted it to feel like, you know, a group is singing with me. It was really important for that. And then we've added trumpets and horns and organ and just made it sound big. And that's it came to be. And so I sent it to you, and you're like, this is great. Well, when you have a music video, let me know. And I'm sitting there like, music video? We just put 110 hours into mixing the song. But I'm like, I can figure this out. So I had to reach out to Nick Alvear, because he's a truther filmmaker. And he said, let's do it, man. So I went down and I met him in California. And then he told me about an event that was happening in Shasta. And he was there with his cameras. And I took my Airstream down, and he filmed it. And here we are. And then I had another friend say, well, are you going to put your song on Spotify and iTunes? I'm like, I want to, I just don't know who to go with. And then the next day I'm watching E. Smitty on your show. He's talking about Sound Alive, and he's a truther and patriot. I'm like, wow, I'm getting chills talking about it, because I'm here because of you guys.
Wow. Well, Joe, I just want to first of all say thank you. You know, you know, it's an honor to have you. You've helped me. You know, you've brought Gene as well, and it's my honor to help you and connect patriots together. You know, we've got filmmakers, we've got doctors, we've got singers, we've got all different types of people from different types of industries. And if we can put our skills together into education, into building a new system, into building a new healthcare, that's how we are going to take that power back. And this is what my platform's about. And I'm very happy and honored to have you, all three of you, here on my show. Nick Alvear, can you go and explain to us about how you went about creating the video and chopping it, whose idea it was? Because I loved the Anthony Fauci part where you had that Pinocchio nose thing going on with Anthony Fauci. I thought that was hilarious. Could you explain how you came up with these ideas and what kind of work went behind the scenes?
Absolutely. So, okay, when I approach anyone, or if I'm approached by someone to do a film, I normally ask, I try and make it so that I am their paintbrush so that they are creating most of it. And I can assist in the whole entire process, right? Like I filmed it, and initially what I did is I laid down a whole music video with just what we filmed and then some footage from the Capitol that I had from when I was there. And then now Joe did not have an idea of what I was doing. Like, so I sent it to him and I'm like, all right, now you paint it. Tell me what you want, where you want it. Cause this is your baby. And I don't want to this is yours. And so he sent me back every clip that's in there that fits with his lyrics, almost as if you'd thought about these images when you wrote the lyrics. And I loved how it's just effortlessly glued itself together. There was 4 drafts and it was just like the tiniest little edits on each one. And I loved it. The way you brought your vision to me, Joe, was miraculous. It turned out really well.
It was an amazing experience. It really was.
Cool. I like that.
Smitty, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, I mean, I love the way that Nick does his process. And I mean, any like real great, like, I'm a producer in music. I don't do film, but I kind of go by the same formula. When an artist comes to me, I don't just, send them a bunch of beats and say, hey, go through these. What I like to do is let the artist articulate, the vibe, the sound, the tempo, the melody, the style, the instruments, everything. The artist articulates those sounds to me, gives me a few ideas to run with, and then from there I custom build the production for the artist. So I can totally understand the way Nick does his his videography. And I mean, that's the best way to do it. It's the most organic way to do it, and the most professional way. And also, it's the best way to capture the soul of each contributor or contribution in the music itself. So like, even as Joe was doing what he was doing, he obviously did it. I got a chance to see the video. It's fantastic, by the way. And everything about, how they put it together, it's just beautiful, man. Well done.
Thank you. That's awesome. I am a musician too. So like that was the coolest part, was being able to bond on that level. Because most people don't know, but I make all the music in my films, and that's Venus Looking Glass. You can find that on Spotify and everything. But yeah, like we all have the same brain, and it's cool. And we can literally, it's kind of interesting that there's a lot of truthers in this awakening who are multifaceted creatively. It's amazing. It's like we're tuned into that. Mm-hmm.
The deep state or the cabal, whatever you want to call them, they're not very deep, so they prey on and people like us because we're the creators. We have the ideas. We are the innovators. And so, everything that they've done, they've kind of just stolen our formulas and then used it for evil.
Yes, bro.
Because they're not creative themselves. So the thing is, now we take back the power, and it's our power. And then now we get to shine and create this how we want to create it. And I'm just excited for the future, extremely excited. And especially with working with guys like you guys and meeting you, Nick, and meeting you, Nicholas. Nicholas has been a godsend, by the way.
Yeah.
And just, great for everything, whole movement. Nicholas is probably the greatest contributor in this movement, I would say, as a media person. And as a person who has a nice, great following, able to connect all patriots together. And, I think this thing is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Same.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, thank you so much. I want to let the viewers know that I will be playing the music video at the end of this interview. So, boys, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we play the video?
I'm curious to hear E. Smitty's recovery formula on how you survived.
Yes.
All right. So I felt this thing coming on probably 2 weeks before it hit me, just feeling exhausted. And I ran to the vitamin shop, and the first thing I got was whole food vitamin C. So whole food vitamin C is not vitamin C. It does not have ascorbic acid in it. Normally you take vitamin C because the ascorbic acid basically kill anything, but you want whole food vitamin C. and I also got zinc. I don't know if it was the zinc or the whole food vitamin C, but one of them they work together and it enables to deliver the mechanism that stops the virus to you. You can't have one or the other. You got to have both. The other thing is, and I was telling Joe, is I made, it's called Nature's HCQ. And I took 4 lemon peels. I took 3 orange peels and 2 grapefruit peels, and no fruit, just the peels. You boil it in water for about an hour. You let it sit for about 2 or 3 hours, and then you squeeze the juice out of the peels. It'll make a special, very, very, very immune boosting tonic. And I drank that, and I drank it probably 4 times a day, a lot of it. I mean, we made like a gallon of this stuff. I started taking that, and then flavonoids. COVID and pneumonia does not like flavonoids. So dark chocolate, red grapes, I would eat the grapes. I would crush the skins in my teeth. That kind of activates the flavonoids. And really, really strong green tea. And we brewed it with alkaline water. The last thing I did is I did take garlic cloves and Manuka honey. Manuka honey is I mean, it's amazing. So I did that. I also had pineapple because pineapple has bromelain in it, which is it heals the lungs. The last thing I'm gonna say is if you get strong COVID, you know, I'm not a doctor and I'm not telling you not to go to the hospital, but understand when you go to the hospital, they're gonna lay you on your back. They're gonna put tubes down your throat. You might get a bad lung infection and you might die. That is the risk that I was not willing to take. So I did not go to the hospital. In fact, on day 5, I got on my stomach and I grabbed a pillow like this and I held it like this and I was able to breathe. If you lay on your back and you have pneumonia or you have strong COVID, you are going to damage your lungs. Okay, so you have to get on your stomach. That's the last thing. Get on your stomach and you'll survive. Afterwards, you know, it took maybe 5 or 6 days and we finally kicked the fever. Once the fever was gone, everything else kind of just started healing. But it took me 13 days to actually go outside and do a full workout. And that is because my lungs, they needed to heal. And I don't have any permanent lung damage, thank God. You know, I healed my asthma 4 years ago. So that's not really a factor either. But, you know, I will say, like I said, you know, with the homemade HCQ, the vitamin C, the whole food vitamin C, the zinc, also getting sunlight, pineapple, red grape, dark chocolate, and really strong green tea. And the strong green tea is amazing. I will tell you that. Green tea is an antioxidant, and it is, if you make it real strong, I'm telling you, it works almost as good as anything out there, you know? Wow. And all I'll say is, like, you know, keep fighting. And if you take care of your body, you take care of your immune system, you probably won't go through, you know, what I went through. What I went through was hell. I mean, I'll tell you, I saw things in my dreams. I actually kind of traveled into the universe and I saw what this disease is, what this bug is. And I saw some of the most disgusting and monstrous and demonic things I've ever seen in my entire life through my dreams. And I saw, you know, what this thing is. And it's a biological weapon. And I feel like there's not going to be a lawsuit for this. There's going to be a military tribunal for this, because this was unleashed on the people of the world. This is a crime against humanity. And what they did is they turned something that's probably been around for a few hundred years, and they microengineered it in a lab, and they made it so that it attacks the respiratory system, you know, the lungs, your ability to breathe. So yes, old people and people who have weak immune systems are very susceptible to even dying from this. It's a very scary thing. You know, like I said, I'm just grateful I'm alive. My, you know, significant other, she helped me through this. And, you know, like I said, I will never, ever forget this experience. And I'm happy to be alive. I lost 13 pounds in 5 days. And it wasn't that, you know, wow. It was, yeah, it was crazy, but well, I gained it back.
Well, You fought it through. You fought it through. You found your own solutions, and you've recovered. And I'm very glad that you're with us. And you did not go to the hospital, and that is inspiring. Yeah. That's very inspiring. Mm-hmm. And thank you for sharing that with us, E. Smitty. And I'm glad that you're with us. So, gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much. Is there anything else anyone wants to say, Nick, E. Smitty, or Joe Rosati?
Come to goodlion.tv to check out the music video, and then also to learn more about what's going on with the Cabal. Check out the Beginning series, where we talk about the beginnings of Fauci, which ties to the 16th century and then goes to Gates. And we're going to keep exposing the Cabal, so people actually really remember history, because that's the thing most people aren't really focusing on. This kind of stuff has happened before. The more and more we realize it, the more and more we can put an end to it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Nick. And Joe Rosati, how about yourself?
I made the video as a tribute to all the people putting themselves out there and exposing this, despite, the backlash that we get. I've lost friends. There's certain people I don't get along with that I've been close to. Sometimes it's tough with the family. They don't see it. And so that's who the video was for. And I am so excited for Nick to be on David Nino tomorrow. He is one of my favorites. He's a fighter, both in the ring and out. Mm-hmm. And I love that guy. And love you, Nick. Love all you guys. I'm so grateful.
Love you, man.
I love you too.
Love you too, brother, man. Love you guys. You guys are amazing.
Likewise. Love you, brother.
Likewise, E. Smitty. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there anything that you'd like to say, E. Smitty, before we finish?
No, just keep coming to soundaliverecords.com. Stream Joe's song, Freedom Now, because that's what we are here for. That's what we want. We want freedom now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. We want it right now.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, thank you very, very much for coming on my show. It's been an honor, and I'm very happy to show the Patriots the music video. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Watching the world, well, it's all just to show those we looked up to are not who they seem. They flash their symbols in a horrible scheme. We've been lied to about so many things. The television seeks poison as the mockingbird sings. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. Scripts of the movies show part of the plots. Under the surface lies plenty of rots. Many actors play a devious role. Made a deal with the devil under mind control. The leaders are blackmailed. They sold us out. Souls as black as coal to gain their clout. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. No longer slaves history we learned isn't even real. It's been rewritten as part of the deal. We've lived in a psyop, our DNA dumbed down. The world's been run by the cabal, the clowns. They want us divided and uninformed. Our morality gone as part of the norm. We just want freedom. Oh, we just want our freedom. Oh, we just want our freedom now, now. Oh, we just want our freedom now. Oh, we just want our freedom. Oh, we just want our freedom. Oh, we just want our freedom now, now. We just want our freedom now. So raise your minds and join the fight. Unveil the truth from darkness to light. Where we go one, where we go one, we go